There is growing outrage in Burlingame tonight over the eviction of a 97-year-old grandmother. KRON 4's Kate Cagle shows us what a quiet neighborhood stands to lose.
A white picket fence and green ivy surround this quiet cottage in Burlingame. The tenant here has nurtured this garden for more than 60 years.
I work my tail end. I just love to get in there and dig and plant and see them grow.
But this might be Marie Hatch's last spring with this garden.
You should have seen it when it was beautiful.
At 97 years old, Marie thought she would live out her final days in this home.
Oh, tired.
But eviction notices don't care about your age or income. She received one earlier this year saying she had 60 days to move.
Look at all this stuff I've got. Where would I go? I don't have nobody to go to.
But Marie's new attorney believes this grandmother may have some hope.
She had a promise, an oral agreement with the original landlady that Marie could stay here until she passed or until she didn't want to live here anymore.
The house has been passed down through 3 generations since that first promise, from mother to daughter to granddaughter, and is now in the hands of her widower. He says a trust requires him to sell the home this year, and in a press release to reporters, the landlord promised to help Marie move.
I just wish he'd put his pen back in his pocket and quit. Doesn't have to sign any papers. Leave it as it is. Let me alone.
To live out as many seasons as she can.
I have forget-me-nots.
In the place she's spent most of her life. Reporting in Burlingame, Kate Cagle, KRON 4 News. At a town hall meeting tonight in San Mateo, it became clear that this issue is bigger than just one story. Now, this town hall was organized by Congresswoman Jackie Speer. She called this a housing crisis and a moral issue. The average monthly rent in this county is $2,800 a month for a 2-bedroom. That means you have to make about $53 an hour to live here comfortably. And we heard a lot of horror stories from renters, including one woman who said she had been living in her apartment for 13 years after receiving no renovations. All of a sudden, her rent went up by $1,000.
Housing now consumes 60% of my paycheck. Burlingame police advise us that the best defense against crime is to know your neighbors. But how can we when they are constantly being displaced by unconscious rent increases?
We also heard from landlords here tonight. They say that rent control is not the answer, that this is a supply and a demand problem. The only way to solve it is to build more apartments. Reporting in San Mateo tonight.